yes, this podcast will work properly unless we reach the new event and everything starts to shut down because Tapu Koko is back. Is it Tapu Koko?
Yep.
Tapu Koko. It's electric. All of this podcast runs off of electricity, and it is served to you via electricity. It sure would be a shame if some electric type Pokemon were to come around and absolutely fry everything. Wait, actually, you know what? I was going to riff on that as a joke, but in a more serious question, did they have to make all of their computers and everything like electric Pokemon proof in Pokemon?
That's going way too deep down the rabbit hole.
I know, but like Pikachu just has to get like overly excited around Bill's PC in like season 1, and like Ash can never communicate with his family again or get any of his Pokemon transferred to him at any point.
I imagine it's a different type of electricity because they never.
Do you think there's like more than AC and DC?
Yeah.
There's like a third variant electricity in Pokemon? That would be wild.
I mean, it's interesting because no, that's going to go down a tangent I don't want to go down.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
I think it would be fun.
I'm sure somebody's already done it.
Vivid voltage.
Just like the thing with people about eating Pokemon.
That's weird. Hey, did you know that Vaporeon?
Oh, don't tell me you just transitioned off that.
Welcome to another Battle Science podcast, a Pokemon Go PvP podcast where we talk about Pokemon Go. I am one of your hosts, Steven, aka Voice Boy in the Woods, joined as always by Jesse, aka Rocket Admin J.
A voice in the woods.
I kind of fumbled that one. I was just going to go with it. And usually around with us is my dog Parker, aka Battle Science Human Resources. Parker. Speak. Parker, speak. He doesn't like to speak. Parker, speak. No, sit.
He refuses to as per contract.
Parker, sit.
Speak.
No. Parker, stop.
Hey, come here. Come here.
Go see Jesse.
There you go. Hi,
He's
bud.
all up in my biz. As is, well, actually, no. I would say good HR reps don't always necessarily have. You kind of got to get them like a little riled up for it, so it's probably just not going to happen. A good HR rep isn't necessarily all up in your business, but is always there for you. And I would say my dog is always there for me. We have a show for you today. It's definitely a show. Amongst shows, it's a show. It is January 24th, 2022. As we record this, we are heading down the home stretch of the season of Mythical Wishes in Pokemon Go. Who is inviting me to a raid?
Or as one of my
That's a
friends
pass.
put it last night when I was hanging out with them, we're 12% through the year.
Shut up. I like math facts as much as the next person, but I don't need that in my life right now. That Twitter account of like how long you are within how far you are into a year pops up every once in a while in my feed, and that's about all I care about it.
But talking about people who care about us.
What? No, that's not what I was talking about, but I appreciate the effort there. As Deadpool might say, maximum effort. The people that give us maximum effort are our Patreon podcast producers over at patreon.com/battlescience. You can join the ranks of the Patreon podcast producers by going to patreon.com/battlescience and backing us at the $5 tier or more. And get shouted out like the wonderful people. I've hit a dead end on sentences and how to phrase this together. So thank you to Evo Stevo. Winston the Champ, Jamar, and Dan P, a.k.a. Sorov, for being Patreon podcast producers, triple Ps, as we like to call them, over at patreon.com/battlescience. If you go over to our Patreon, you can back us at $1 tier or more, get the Battle Science podcast early, get the Battle Science After Dark podcast, which is a monthly show that is exclusive to patrons, and help fund the Battle Science podcast as it's being hosted and other event stuff. I think the Patreon dollars, I don't think they're going towards the pizza party, but actually, one bit of housekeeping that we haven't really talked about yet is that Jesse and I, so our original plan was to go to 3 different Play Pokemon events this season, at least 2, a couple of them, but we've narrowed it down to 1, and it's not the one that we were saying we were going to go to initially. So we are unfortunately not going to go to Portland.
We're not?
Are we not?
I thought we were going to Portland.
We're going to Vancouver.
Right.
We're going to both?
I thought we were.
I did not expect to be doing both.
Oh.
Yeah. Were you? I thought it was your brother's birthday. That's why we were going to Vancouver and not to Portland.
No, Vancouver is my brother's. No,
Portland is your.
I never said we couldn't go. I just said I have to find a good excuse to make him.
I was then just imagining let's just do Vancouver instead.
Oh, I mean we could. I don't mind just doing both.
I don't know if I can figure it out financially, but I don't know if that. I don't know.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, we are for sure going to Vancouver. We have the hotel
we
booked.
have the hotel,
and we have both of our tournament entry fees bought and paid for. So we're gonna go in there, fight like champions, lose in 2 rounds, and hang out the rest of the time. Probably. Jesse, you might actually be able to make a run. I'm probably gonna run the meme dream team. Get knocked out in 2 rounds and then just hang out, maybe buy a Pokemon plush or something. So maybe some Pokemon cards. That's in March.
Yep. A month.
No,
March 10th.
month and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, oh, maybe I could pick up some of the Scarlet and Violet cards, but the Scarlet and Violet's TCG set I don't think comes out until April. Do I still have the page open? I might be able to. Nope, I closed the link. That's fine. But yeah, we're doing Vancouver, which Jamar is confirmed to go, and I don't know if Jamar is confirmed to go for Portland.
I'm not sure.
That I would have to double check. But
I'm sure if
Jamar,
they're watching, they'll let us know.
Your pizza. I will find a place in Vancouver, and we will have a pizza party. So, that being said,
oh darn! Now I gotta actually pay up.
Well, I will find a place. I got a buddy of mine that went to college up in Vancouver. I'll see if he's got. I'll check in with him tomorrow actually, and see if he's got any recommendations for a pizza place we can go to and potentially bring a handful of people.
That sounds like a Friday night thing.
If there is a place we can go to with a handful of people, I mean, we could do it Saturday night too.
That's true.
The only thing is a community day going to be on that weekend.
I mean, there's a trend. There's a trend of it.
It seems to be happening a lot. Way to absolutely tell us to stuff it, Niantic. Like fluff in a stuffle. I will try and find a pizza place so that we may be able to do a. I don't know who is going to be around Vancouver. If we have a whole lot of listeners that are going to be around Vancouver, either for the Play Pokemon event or that just live in the area. But we might try and do like a meetup thingy pizza thing because we owe Jamar a pizza. I owe Jamar a pizza, I think.
No, it was just me.
Was it just you?
Yeah, it was the community day predictions.
Oh, okay. And somebody else was saying that they had gotten yearly predictions as well. The thing we did like in 2020.
I'd have to go back and look.
I would also have to go back and look. You know who you are. You've tried to reach out to me. Reach out to me again. We'll figure. I'll go back through and double check. I think it was one of your cousins.
Oh, it's probably Battle Ram then.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and double check. Battle Ram, if you're when you listen to this, remind me. I will look it up. But anyone that's going
I'd
to
love to
Vancouver,
find a place kind of like what we used to have here in town with the. Oh my goodness, was it the pizza place? Is that what it was
I think
called?
it was just literally called the Pizza Place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to find like an old school like.
It exploded. Literally exploded. Yeah.
That so there was.
It like the water heater or something.
It was a gas line underneath the building because
That's
it's right next to a gas station. There was an old school
Well, that's
barber.
not how gas stations work.
No,
But
but there was a gas air line.
Yeah.
There was a old barber shop, total like early 70s, late 60s style building. Of
and
like
it got raised.
Yeah, it got leveled.
Yeah. At like Johto region, what's the tower?
The bronze the tin tower or the
one that gets burnt to the ground?
Yeah, there's the tin and then there's the other one. I forget the bronze tower.
Bronze
and
tower.
The bronze
okay.
tower is
yeah.
the one that burned down.
Yeah, it's like the bronze tower but a pizza place. Yeah. What a shame.
I remember
What a shame.
that.
It was so mediocre pizza. God, I miss it.
But it had like the old school arcade.
It had
in
arcade.
It.
Yeah, I love playing that racing game, that 4-player racing game.
It was one of those. If it
Top
had
down.
alcohol, it's your equivalent to a dive bar with a cobblestone floor and everything.
I think pretty much every Little League team I had, post-season party was there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Little League
pizza.
soccer.
Yeah.
Any after it was our equivalent of Chuck E. Cheese.
Kind of. So well, I mean, 100% less animatronics, which I do appreciate.
But no,
probably why I don't have a debilitating fear of creepy animatronics.
What would that be? Is it a pizza pub? Pizza pub? Pizza parlor. That's what they would be called.
Yeah.
Pizza parlor. That's old school.
Yeah, I gotta find some place in Vancouver.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
What, the pizza place?
Just see if there's any thing like that up there in Vancouver.
Oh, I'm gonna ask my buddy that went to college over there.
I know. I just figured it'd be more fun to look.
See if he's got any recommendations.
But we've got a few events to cover.
Yes. And we gotta figure out if we're going to Portland or not. Dates, times, etc. Dynamo. Don't forget. Can be shiny. Did I push the buttons? I did push the buttons. Haha, look at me.
There's actually quite a few.
What, pizza parlors?
Well, pizza places.
Are they all chains though?
Panago Pizza.
That sounds
seems
familiar.
like an ad.
That sounds familiar.
Captain's Oven Pizza.
Interesting.
Pizza 2001.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm sure your friend will probably have some good suggestions.
Hopefully. Excuse me, by the way. I don't know if you could hear that.
There's one just called Joss.
Joss?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Do they have whole wheaten crust?
I'm not sure.
You get that joke?
No.
Joss Wheaton?
Oh.
Whole wheaten pizza?
Giddy up now. This is the news roundup.
Did's Pizza, authentic Italian pizza.
Welcome to the news roundup. We are going to start off our news coverage. Did's Pizza?
DID.
DID, Did's. Okay.
Is there a question mark in there somewhere?
I don't know. There might be. Upcoming tomorrow, as of this recording, Crackling Voltage, the Crackling Voltage event, an electric. Is this a rerun? Is this the second time we've had a Crackling Voltage event? I mean, I know we've had electric type events, but
I don't think
know
it's
if we've
been
had
called Cracking Voltage.
Crackling.
Oh.
No, Crackling. Crackling. No, Crackling. Interesting. Is there a spelling error there, or have I just been mispronouncing that word this entire time?
Well, there's no E because it's an ING.
Right. Crackling. But I think I pronounce it crackling.
Ironically enough, I just got an invite to Japan
What do you mean?
for Tapu Koko.
Oh, a raid invite. Nice. Shiny Helioptile and Shiny Tapu Koko bring the thunder in the Crackling Voltage event. Team Go Rocket activity also detected. Trainers, interesting that they went dark mode on like the one
The
bit of this
announcement.
article. Yeah. If you go over to PokemonGoLive.com and check out the article for this in the news tab. Trainers, things are about to get electric with the Crackling Voltage event. Electric-type Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild, and trainers can look forward to the legendary Pokemon Tapu Koko, a guardian deity of the Alola region, returning in 5-star raids. Also, for the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter shiny Helioptile and shiny Tapu Koko if you're lucky. We have also received reports that Team Go Rocket might try to spark some trouble with new Shadow Pokemon soon. Stay alert, trainers. Crackling Voltage, Friday, January 27th. Oh, no. Wait, what? Oh, the raids start early. Tapu Koko starts early, but Crackling Voltage does not start until Friday.
Friday, yeah.
January 27th, 2023. It's 2023. At 10 a.m. To Sunday, February 5th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. local time. That is bit over a week and a day and change. Wild encounters. Are you ready for some of these electric type Pokemon? The following Pokemon will appear more frequently in the wild. Also, the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter shiny Helioptile if you're lucky. So, electric type Pokemon featured in this event are Ekans,
Gross.
Grimer,
Yay.
Stunky,
Yeah.
Pharisee,
Yay.
Grubbin. Grubbin
Okay.
actually makes sense because it evolves into an electric type. By the way, Ekans, Grimer, and Stunky, not electric type. Magnemite, Electrike, Blitzel, and Helioptile are all the electric types that are featured.
Oh, no, that worries me.
What?
Blitzel is available as a shiny and as a shadow. Tells me that it's going to be one of the leaders Pokemon.
There's a chance, maybe, but that seems like a really fast turnaround for it to just be in shadows.
I mean, as a Pokemon no one really cares about.
Yeah,
All right, I take that back. I've learned a general rule of thumb when it comes to Pokemon. There's always someone that cares about the one Pokemon you think no one cares about.
Yeah. Let's see. Some trainers might even encounter the following: Beldum and Dedenne.
I'm fine with both those.
Dedenne was recently released as a shiny, so that's nice. Raids. The following Pokemon will be appearing in raids. Also, for the first time in Pokemon Go, you'll be able to encounter shiny Tapu Koko if you're lucky. Helioptile in these raids will have a greater chance of being shiny Pokemon than Helioptile found in the wild. So spend those dollars, trainers. That wasn't actually in the article, but I figured I'd,
Add in some flavor.
Add in, because that's probably what they were going to say, but an editor came in there and maybe blacked it out or something. So 1-star raids: Alolan Grimer, Shinx, Bronzor, Clink, and Helioptile. Those can all be shiny, which is kind of nice. 3-star raids: Venomoth, Galarian Weezing, Jolteon, and Mawile. My favorite electric type, Galarian Weezing. Yeah, I don't get it either. Actually, I do kind of get it because Galarian Weezing can, actually, it's not even a counter for Tapu Koko, so that doesn't make any sense to me.
But definitely a good one to go for now that they've reworked some of its abilities.
Right. And it's available shiny, so that's neat, I guess. 5-star raids: Tapu Koko and Registeel. Let's see. Registeel will appear in raids from... Oh, no. Hold up. I'm out of order here. Tapu Koko will appear in raids from Wednesday, January 25th, 2023 at 10 a.m. to Wednesday, February 1st, 2023 at 10 a.m. local time. Registeel will appear in raids from Wednesday, February 1st to Wednesday, February 8th. Registeel caught during this event will know the charge attack Zap Cannon. Yay! That makes some sense, I guess. Mega Gengar will be around for the duration of Tapu Koko. And Mega Aerodactyl will be around for the duration of Registeel. Eggs. The following Pokemon will hatch from 7K eggs. Helioptile hatched from these eggs will have a greater chance of being a shiny Pokemon than Helioptile found in the wild. Alolan Sandshrew, Skarmory, Blitzel, Stunfisk, Galarian Stunfisk, Helioptile, and Dedenne. are all in 7K eggs. They say they're at the same rarity, but we all kind of know that that's not quite the case. Yeah.
I'll be hatching for the G-Fisk.
My third favorite electric type Pokemon, Alolan Sandshrew. This event, man. I mean, I guess I'm thankful that we don't have Pikachu featured in another event. By the way, Pikachu is going to be an event. It's going to be an event exclusive costume for the upcoming Tour Hoenn tour. So, like, thank goodness we don't have more Pikachu. But, like, what's up with these non-electric type? I mean, the awesome thing would be if they released terrestrialization and they were all, like, electric terrestrial types. So, but, you know, that's not happening. Field research task encounters. Voltorb, Hisuian Voltorb, Plusle, Minun, Emolga, and Helioptile.
I think people are just going to go for... I mean, some people still want Hisuian Voltorb, but I think outside of that, people are going to mostly go for the... if they really want to do research, it's going to be for the Helioptile shiny.
Team Go Rocket Takeover from... Oh, wow, this is multiple days, which is... I feel like it's usually only one day.
That
so
or a
nice.
weekend.
Yeah. This is longer than that. So from Wednesday, February 1st at 12 a.m. to Sunday, February 5th at 11:59 p.m. So that gives you
4 days.
All of Wednesday, all of Thursday, all of Friday, all of Saturday, and all of Sunday. So 5 days.
Okay.
Save Shadow Registeel, who's inviting me to a raid. No. Not a Mega Lot Bunny. No, thank you. Giovanni's Iron Will is as strong as ever, and this time his plot includes using Shadow Registeel. A new special research story will be available at the beginning of this event. Progress through it to receive a Super Rocket Radar and chase down Giovanni. The special research will be available to claim until the end of Season 9 Mythical Wishes on March 1st at 10 a.m. local time. I think, don't quote me, but I believe that means you can get through the first page and you can have it past this season. You have to claim it, basically complete the first page, and then you have it beyond
You have to have
this
the
season.
research for the reward available.
Huh?
It's an encounter reward.
Right. So
Or no, you get it from Giovanni himself, so you just have to have the radar and be on the research
Yes.
for the radar.
yes. But if you already have a radar from a previous event, you cannot get this
Until you use the other one.
until you use the other one and get through the first page of this, and then you can have it beyond this. Although Shadow Registeel, as you and I have both talked,
Not great.
Shadow Registeel, as far as shadows are concerned, is a pretty reasonable one. Especially because it's guaranteed under Great League. The Shadow buff definitely helps it, and the Shadow nerf hinders it a little bit, but it's already semi-bulky. So the moves are not fantastic. I mean, they never have been. Except for things that don't have anything better.
Yeah. I think the
looking
only
at you,
downside
mid-tier Nidos.
is... Sorry?
I said looking at you, mid-tier Nidos.
Oh. I think the only downside of this is it hurts it more than it helps it, because if lock-on is always nulled to 1 damage, it would add up a lot faster if it was 2.
Sure, but the benefit is the 20% attack increase helps those attacking the charge moves hit that much harder.
Right.
When, like, it's been more of a spammer, so that damage will add up.
Right, but that's also where its bulk helped it. It could survive an earthquake and potentially another charge attack.
Right. But in this case, you do have to treat it a little bit more of a fragile resource, for sure.
I mean, I'd almost say this puts it on Venusaur level.
And Venusaur has still been relevant, though.
Right, but it gets to its moves a little bit quicker.
Venusaur does, or this does?
I want to say Venusaur gets to Frenzy Plant faster than Registeel gets to its moves. Plus, Vine Whip still does, I think, a minimum of 3 damage.
We're going to PV poke. Let's take a quick peek. I imagine.
But then there's also the commentary of you can get Registeel with return, but then it doesn't really improve much. But anybody that plays the game seriously will call you out on purifying your one Shadow Registeel that you could potentially get.
It's interesting the Registeel Shadow is not on PV poke yet.
Probably because it's not live yet.
Right, but the Shadow tag is the same thing for everything.
It might be one of those things where he has to program lock on to not increase with the shadow buff.
That's true. Okay, well, Venusaur and Registeel, what gets faster? Frenzy Plant is faster than Zap Cannon, and it's firing off Zap Cannon.
Right, but you can get to Focus Blast before you can get to Zap Cannon, but even then, Focus Blast would be resisted by Venusaur.
Yeah. So you're right. Frenzy Plant is faster than Zap Cannon.
Plus, I think it's also doing more damage with Vine Whip.
Its defense is massive, though.
Registeel? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So with a stamina that's just over Venusaur, but a defense that's...
Right, but change that number by 20%. Because for the shadow.
To a calculator. Well, okay, so roughly, because it's damage taken, not necessarily... Oh, yeah, because stamina will I'm doing this math really roughly. So it's 189.6 times, what is it, 0.2? Will give me 20% of it, not 2. 0.2. 0.2. 37, so that brings it down 150. That's still a higher defense than Venusaur.
Right.
Yeah. And it still has a higher stamina as a shadow. Now its attack is
goes
20%.
up 20%, but that's only on charge attacks.
Right.
Which has to not get shielded.
But that's fine because Lock On wasn't doing anything to begin with, and it's continuing to not do anything.
Right.
So, let's see, 95. Again, rough math because I don't think this is quite how the equations work, where it just applies 20% to a 20% increase
number
to attack and a 20% decrease to defense. Although that might be all it does. But let's see, times 0.2. That's the sound of my math soul leaving my body. 19.1, so 95 goes up to
104 or something.
115.
Yeah.
Just shy of 115, which is not as high as Venusaur's attack. But Venusaur's attack is only 122 in this instance.
In a standard matchup, Venusaur still wins, even in regular Registeel, right?
Venusaur versus Registeel regular, Venusaur loses.
Okay. But very close.
5 HP on Registeel.
So it's on the one shield.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably because of the debuff from the Zap Cannon triggering. That's the difference maker, is it has to get that debuff. Because I think PV Poke's running it assuming that it does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's odds dependent in the regular matchup.
Mm-hmm. Venusaur wins in the 2 shield, just because it's more consistent. Mm-hmm. In this case, it's triggering Zap Cannon as a debuff. What's the percentage on the debuff
30%.
on Zap Cannon? Okay, this one's triggering.
No, it might be 50.
Okay, yeah, because this is triggering that the Zap Cannon debuff applies on the first and the third out of 3, and not on the second. But again, yeah,
there should be advanced settings where you can tell it to what's the scenario if it never gets the debuff. I think it's down there at the bottom where the play button, all that is. Either way.
Yeah. I see this as a benefit for Registeel. It's worth using your rocket radars if you've been keeping them. If they go by the pattern of the three legendaries from each region,
Next will probably be Rock.
Reggie Rock or Reggie Ice, and I don't think either of them. I've been wrong pretty consistently when I make broad assumptions like this. But I don't know if Reggie Rock or Reggie Steel or Reggie Rock or Reggie Ice are really going to benefit from having
A shadow.
a shadow. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Reggie. Let's see. So all three are running Lock On. You've got Stone Edge and Focus Blast on Reggie Rock. Also has Zap Cannon. That's interesting. That's helpful. Wait, that's not helpful. That doesn't really help it, other than beating
Waters.
the water. Yeah. Which it is weak to. Stone Edge, Earthquake, Focus Blast, Zap Cannon. That's not bad. Reggie Ice. Lock On, Thunder. Let's see. Blizzard, Earthquake, Thunder, Focus Blast. That is... It does have Frost Breath, which Reggie Ice actually might be not terrible with a shadow. Just running Frost Breath is damage. The only downside is it doesn't have anything. You're just using Frost Breath. I don't think Blizzard, Earthquake, Thunder, or Focus Blast are going to be things you get to like at all.
You get to 1.
Yeah.
And the 1 shield.
It says it's marked as shield pressure, so with Lock On. But yeah, you're not. Yeah, Reggie Rock might be one that kind of benefits here, but I think it's a pure rock type. I don't think has really been super relevant.
They never have been.
The
downside is they're mostly used for sandstorm teams, and we don't have weather effects in Pogo.
So I think Registeel is the one that's going to be the one to get shadows from.
Of the trio.
Let's see. So we've had the birds from Kanto,
The
the
beasts
beasts
from
from Johto. We'll have the Reggies from Hoenn.
We have had the Lotties.
We have had the Lotties.
We had Mewtwo.
We had Mewtwo. I wonder if what's
we
the
had
next
Apex,
trio?
Lugia, and Ho-Oh.
What's the next trio? Sinnoh?
The Lake Spirits.
Oh, I don't know if they would do Shadow Lake Spirits.
Doesn't make sense to, but at this point,
Because they're
I won't
regional.
hold them. It might just be where you use your radar.
That would be really interesting. That would be very interesting if they're still region locked, but then they're... Ooh, I like that idea. But I don't know if that's one of those ones. I'm like thinking ahead of like, should you keep more radars?
You won't be able to trade it if it's a shadow. So
True.
you're locked to whatever region you're stuck in.
Ew, yeah, so then they probably wouldn't do that unless they would allow trading for shadows with much higher Stardust cost or something. I'm trying to think ahead, big brain plays as far as if you should save rocket radars for something in the future.
I mean, Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon.
If we get them, because I don't know if we
Eventually.
will.
I think right now we'll get the Primals for the next event. And then after that, sometime a couple years down the road, they'll bring it back as Shadow.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess as soon as next year. But in that case, I'd love to see Team Aqua and Team Magma do that. So, who we might see, again, asterisk, might see in the Las Vegas event because we're aiding Team Rocket. Bummed I can't go, but I'll read the story through probably Trainer Tips video or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Reggie
if
Steel-
anything, you would want to have used it on Mewtwo because Shadow Mewtwo is the best.
I mean, a maxed out Shadow Mewtwo, yes. Yeah, I mean, just as far as PvE is concerned. As far as PvP, because Shadow Mewtwo is not available in anything other than Master.
You can use it in Great League.
Is it that low?
It's
I don't remember
dumb,
that.
but you can.
I don't remember. Okay, that's right. It is that low. CP wise.
As far as other competitive Shadow legendaries, other than Cresselia, but it doesn't make sense for Cresselia.
I don't know if we'll get some of those mythics as shadows.
It's not a mythic.
The event locked ones from the main series games.
Was Cresselia an event locked?
Yes.
Oh.
I believe so. I believe you had to get a like ticket or something, and the
but that's the only one I
cruise
could
took-
think
yeah.
of that would get a Shadow as a legendary that would be viable for Great League. If we're talking Master League, then anything can be viable.
That's true. I mean, Master League, anything with that buff is very helpful, especially as a hundo. Go away, ads. I just want the list, not. Do you got a list, Bulbapedia? No? Thanks, guys. Okay, well, that's helpful. Pokemon Wiki, maybe? Do you have a list? Nope. Also, kind of, sort of, but it's in our article format.
Have all of it at once.
Darn you. Yeah, get a Shadow Registeel. Don't hold off on this one. Grab one, at least one. Event bonuses for the Go Rocket Takeover. Team Go Rocket will appear more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. You can use a Charge TM to help a Shadow Pokemon forget the Charge Attack frustration. Shadow Pokemon. Team Go Rocket grunts, as well as their leaders Sierra, Cliff, and Arlo, are using different Shadow Pokemon. Help Spark, Blanche, and Candela overcome their adversaries and rescue the Shadow Pokemon. In addition, Team Go Rocket has also turned the following Pokemon into Shadow Pokemon. Defeat Team Go Rocket grunts to save them. We have Shadow Alolan Vulpix, Shadow Spoink, Shadow Blitzel, Shadow Joltik, and more. So there is a small chance we'll actually have a 5th or maybe even a 6th addition to the Shadow Pokemon roster. But brand new additions that they are telling us about. I think, Jesse, you and I have talked. Shadow Joltik and Shadow Alolan Vulpix are the two big hitters here.
Yep.
Alolan Ninetales Charmer with Shadow.
Shadow
Gross.
Alolan Ninetales with Weather Ball that hits as hard as Avalanche.
Mm-hmm. That with Powdered Snow gets to it pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's not super bulky.
No.
That's the only downside.
But you can get to Weather Ball pretty quick.
True. Snorunt hasn't been Shadow before, has it?
No.
You don't have a Shadow Frostlass?
Nope.
This is the closest thing we'll get to a Shadow Frostlass.
For a while.
Until we get Shadow Frostlass. Maybe, probably. And then Shadow Joltik as an electric bug type. It's Volt Switch.
Volt Switch, or you can use, I think it has Fury Cutter.
Ooh. And then into Lunge and Electro Ball.
Lunge, Electro Ball, and Cross Poison.
Oh.
And it's not Electro Ball, it's Energy Ball.
Energy Ball? Okay.
So with Galvantula, yeah, Fury Cutter or Volt Switch.
Uh-huh.
And then Discharge, Lunge, Cross Poison, which has a chance to buff. It gets as fast as Poison Vent. It's a reverse Poison Vent.
Lunge debuffs attack, right?
Yep.
That's great for its survivability.
Bug Buzz and Energy Ball.
It's pretty reasonable. That's a really good one. That's a
That's Oko if you're not careful.
yeah, that's a straight buff similar to Shadow Marowak.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not as good as, say, a Shadow Marowak is because it's the electric typing is not as advantageous as, say, the ghost coverage that Shadow Marowak has.
Yeah. Plus, it's already pretty defense oriented too.
Yeah, Galvantula is a really big winner here. Who uses Grumpig?
No one.
Question mark? And then Blitzel,
Dies faster. Goes out in a blaze of glory.
I don't even remember if it's like a speed or an attack based.
It's
attack
a
weighted, speed weighted in the main series. So, if you find
It's
a
electric
hundo,
Ponyta.
yeah, I mean, if you find a hundo, then it might be useful in PvE, I guess, but I don't really know if it really is. So, the only thing I can hope for is that something like Spoink and Blitzel are like 1,000 Stardust purification.
Grumpig,
Uh-huh.
Charge Beam, or Extra Sensory.
Ew. Charge beam, maybe.
Psychic, Shadow Ball, or Mirror Coat.
I mean, if it had a better fast move, Psychic and Shadow Ball aren't a terrible combo. I mean, and I think Grumpig is defensively weighted, so
yeah,
that's not terrible. It's just one fast move away from being
relevant.
Yeah. So actually, that's one to just keep your eye out. Just kind of.
My question is if we'll have a shiny Shadow available, or is that going to be locked to leaders?
It's gonna. I mean, all of these are going to be locked to leaders. There isn't any sparkles on any of these 4. Question is, what are the leaders going to switch to? Because currently we have Machop.
We have really good stuff.
Machop, Sableye, and Mawile.
Yeah.
Yes, all 3 of those are very solid. Do we get something worse? Do we potentially get the Hoenn starters? I think we might. Because this is going to lead directly into... Because we've had the Kanto starters before. But this is going to lead... The rocket changeover here, the next rocket changeover we're going to get is going to be mid-season of the next season. And that's going to be past the Hoenn tour.
See, that's a really good theory, but Niantic.
Sure. I mean, I think it's an easy card to play. Sure, it could be different, but like it's that or some random trio of something that's already been Shadow before, without shinies.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could have returning leader Pokemon for the first time, but I don't think we have.
No.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to the list of. Let me see. I don't think I have one of each Shadow/Purified Pokemon, but I can go Shadow. What is Ore?
Comma, or what's the...
No, you're right, comma.
Is it comma? Okay.
Purified. And then I'm going to go by number order. So Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. We've had Shadow Weedle. We've had Shadow Rattata. Shadow of both versions of Sandshrew. Nidoran and Nidorina, which we haven't had shinies of. Have we?
Shadow shinies?
Yeah.
Yeah, female Nidoran we have.
Oh, that's right. Which might mean
Sarah had it.
Right. I wonder if Cliff might have male Nidoran, but Nidoking is a signature Pokemon, Pokemon of Giovanni. But they wouldn't switch out a leader, or they wouldn't switch out a legendary for Nidoran unless there was like a particular weekend for it or something.
Like a community day?
They've never featured a Shadow for a community day. I love the thought, but they've never featured that. Vulpix, we'll now have both versions of Vulpix. Zubat. Oh, God, Zubat. Oddish. Venonat. Both versions of Diglett. Psyduck. Arcanine. Or, Growlithe. Poliwag. We've had, Abra. Machop. Twice. Bellsprout, which Bellsprout might be one, but the only thing is the Rocket, what's it called? The Rocket decoys would probably have to switch to something else.
Yeah.
Geodude might not be a bad one.
We've also had Ekans. I don't know if you mentioned that one.
I don't know if I have any Ekans, so that might be why. I don't have any Shadow or Purified Ekans or Arbok here. I'm just going by stuff that's in my box.
Right. That's I'm looking to.
Because there isn't a master. I don't know if there's a master list hiding somewhere. We've had Drowsy as a leader. We've had Execute as a leader.
I also have Geodude, Magnemite. We have Onyx.
Yep, I've said those.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, we've had Cubone.
Yep.
Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan. We don't have Hitmontop. I don't know if we've had Hitmontop.
You said Execute, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going in number order.
That's what I'm looking at too.
Coughing, Tangela, Horsey, Scyther, Electabuzz, Magmar, Pinsir, Magikarp, Lapras, Porygon, Omanyte. Have we had? No, we had to have had Kabuto.
If we do, I don't have it.
Yeah, me neither. Aerodactyl, Snorlax. Snorlax could be a lead. That would be an interesting one. Because its shiny is out now. That would be a gross lead for one of the leaders. Absolutely disgusting because they would two-shield it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
That would bring it back to some of those old school difficulties.
I hate it. Oh, God. Yes, it would. Let's see. The birds. We've had... Have we had a Stratini as a leader?
No.
That would be an interesting one. We've had the 3 starters for Johto, and we've had those for a while. Natu Mareep, Sudowoodo, Hoppip, Murkrow, Misdreavus, Girafarig, Gligar,
Wooper.
Snubbull. Do I not have any Wooper? Wow, look at me failing that. Shuckle, Teddiursa, Swinub, Delibird, Skarmory, Houndour. The 3 beasts. Larvitar. We've had Mudkip, Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
We have not had Trico
Or Torchic.
or Torchic, which would mean realistically we would see them here, but it does say and more. So I'm holding out hope because that would help me get the hundo for megas of Trico and Blaziken.
Mm-hmm.
Or of, Sceptile and Blaziken. Poochyena might be an interesting one. Has Ralts been a leader?
No.
Ralts would be an interesting leader. I can see that going to probably Sierra. I feel like C-Dot has. God, nobody wants Whismur as a leader. No one wants that.
He's had both of those, C-Dot and Whismur.
Oh, that's right. Whismur was as a leader, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gross. I would love Aeron as a leader.
Yeah.
Please give me that shot. Actually, the Shadow and the Shiny look nearly identical, aside from the
Eyes.
the purple flame, because they both have red eyes. So I don't really know if they would do that as a Shiny, but maybe they would. We've had that. We've had that. I feel like we've had Numel. Trapinch might be an interesting one as a shiny leader. Spheal might be an interesting one as a shiny leader. Have we had Beldum as a leader?
No.
Beldum?
Yes. It was
Okay.
Sierra.
That's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure we've had Beldum.
I think I got it on my... Yeah, right here.
Nice. Shinx might be an interesting one. Yeah, there's a couple of them that I'm like, all right, that could work pretty well. No, I mean, we just had Golett. Actually, we don't have Golett shiny in the game, so like that wouldn't make any sense. Purloin was just added, so shiny Purloin, maybe. It's also a 10k or a 1k purification cost, which is beneficial.
Get that Snarm Charl.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a pretty accessible dark. It's like the top percentage chance dark reward, so I don't know. There's some interesting ones that the shiny is already out, so it would make sense to have as leaders. Also, some ones that would be kind of duds. Poochyena is one of them for sure. Please, for the love of goodness.
If you had to pick the lesser of two evils, Poochyena or Whismer?
Well, Whismer's already happened, so like pick a different one.
Oh, okay.
Snubble? I don't want Snubble.
We already have Snubble.
As a leader?
Yeah, Cliff had it.
What?
No, Sierra.
I'd just pass on those. Just get rid of that. Get rid of it.
I think
Gligar would be an interesting one.
we've had that.
Wow, what?
Arlo had it.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I
Actually,
don't know.
I bet there's a list I can look up.
I don't know, man. I think I've looked and I couldn't find it, so a list I should say. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. They could just give us like a big ol' middle finger and give each one of the Hitmons. One of them has Hitmonlee, one of them has Hitmontop, and one of them has Hitmonchan. I don't think I would love it. All right, this story has taken us long enough. The following Pokemon will hatch from 12-kilometer eggs. The following Pokemon can currently only be hatched in 12-kilometer eggs. I don't think it's changing. They might be adding Skrelp to this list, but I think that's it. Unless they're removing something. Actually, I have a 12K egg. Let me look at what's in a 12K egg currently. No, they're removing Inkay. Oh my goodness, is there one less Pokemon? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they're just removing Inkay. You have a slightly better chance of getting something else. Oh, actually, with the percentage chance of hatches on the 7K eggs, I lied. They are not. This single egg graphic that they have is not publishing the odds of hatching what you want. Because 12Ks have different percentage tiers, and they are not showing them here in the post. Yeah, on their blog post. So if all of the odds stay the same and they're just removing Inkay, your most common hatches for 12K eggs once this event starts is Pawniard, Larvitar, Vullaby, and Pancham. Your middle tier rarity is Sandile and Scraggy, and your most rare, God, why is this in the most rare? Absol, Dino, Skorupi, Skrelp, and Salandit.
That sounds backwards to me.
Maybe you're right. Let me hit the question mark. Groups of Pokemon that are higher on the list are more likely to hatch from this egg. So yeah, Absol, Dino, Skorupi, Skrelp, and Salandit are in the rare tier. Because Absol's been featured in so many different events. Skorupi's just been around. And Dino has had a community day and a rerun. I mean, the year-end event, but because that makes sense. I don't know. And field research task rewarding a mysterious component will be available. So if you do research, you will get probably like Beta Rocket or something, or Purify Pokemon. You can get a mysterious component towards a rocket radar, standard rocket radar via field research. So, yay!
Basically.
Yeah.
But do take advantage of the purifying take advantage of the Alolan Vulpix and the Joltik.
For sure. Some cool stuff coming, but of course, always skeptical and grain of salt. A lot of stuff. So, all right. Primal Reversion has been discovered in Pokemon Go. I will not play the YouTube video. Trainers, something big is coming. Primal Reversion has been discovered in Pokemon Go, and trainers can experience it for the first time during Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn, Las Vegas. Primal Reversion is a phenomenon powered by natural energy that transforms select Pokemon, which gives them new appearance, improves their performance in battle, and more. Primal Reversion has been observed in 2 Pokemon to date, legendary Pokemon Kyogre and Groudon, originally discovered in the Hoenn region. Brand new power. Actually, I'm gonna burst some bubbles here. This is Megas. They're called Primal, but it features the same mechanic as Megas, with both Groudon and Kyogre. You can earn Primal Energy by defeating Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon, or Primal Groudon, I should say, in a raid battle, or by completing specific research tasks. After undergoing Primal Reversion, Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon will stay in their primal form for 8 hours, just like Megas, after which they will return to their standard form, just like Megas. The more times your Pokemon undergo Primal Reversion, the less Primal Energy will be used, just like Megas. Although this last sentence makes it sound like it's going to require Mega Energy every time you Mega it, rather than having Mega using Primal Reversion once and it being free going forward. So we'll find out. They might want you to do a whole lot of raids. New bonuses. You'll receive bonuses when your Kyogre or Groudon reverts to its primal form. When Primal Kyogre is in your party, water, electric, and bug type attacks will benefit from attack bonuses and raids. When Primal Kyogre is your buddy, catching water, electric, and bug type Pokemon will grant you additional XP and candy. When Primal Groudon is in your party, fire, grass, and ground type attacks will benefit from attack bonuses. When Primal Groudon is your buddy, catching fire, grass, and ground type Pokemon will grant you additional XP and candy. Kyogre and Groudon's primal level will increase the more times they revert to their primal forms, improving their bonuses. You can see a Pokemon's primal level and the bonuses granted by that level by navigating to the Pokemon's page and tapping the primal level icon. Pretty much exactly where the Mega icon is. New Pokedex category. The Pokedex category for Mega Pokemon will be updated to include Pokemon that have undergone Primal Reversion. Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn. Encounter Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon in Primal raids during specific periods. Don't take a shot every time I say Primal, for the love of all things that are holy. Beginning with Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn Las Vegas, Primal raids are similar to normal raid battles, but the Pokemon you challenge will be more powerful than those you may have encountered previously.
That makes me worried because Kyogre is already a 10-person raid minimum.
It might get worse. Trainers will... Well, actually, have we had a Kyogre since we've had Megas?
I don't think so.
Which might make it a little bit easier. You just then have to alternate Megas so that your attack boosts or...
Grass does both. Use a grass Pokemon.
Oh, grass beats both. Yeah, because Kyogre's water and Groudon is ground, even though it does have Fire Punch, which it might get here.
I'd hope so. Otherwise, it's a 1-bar charge attacker.
Right. I mean, but it's additional move, too. It's Precipice Blades?
Yep. That's a ground type.
Yep. Actually, that's guaranteed here, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Which means you're probably not getting Fire Punch. You better have an Elite Charge TM. Let's see. Trainers will also have the opportunity during both Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn Las Vegas and Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn Global to complete Primal Surge field research, which may lead to increased opportunities to encounter Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon in raids. May lead. There's a chance here to complete Primal Surge field research, which may lead to increased opportunities to encounter Primal Kyogre or Primal Groudon in raids. So you can affect the odds of what raid spawn? Maybe? That's a weird wording. Featured attacks. Kyogre. Kyogre encountered in Primal raids will know the charge attack Origin Pulse, which is a water type move. Groudon. Groudon encountered in Primal raids will know the charge attack Precipice Blade, which is a ground type move. The shinies are available for both, by the way. Origin Pulse, Trainer Battles, 130 power. Gyms and Raids, 130 power. Precipice Blades, Trainer Battles. Do you want to guess?
130 power.
Oh my goodness, Gyms and Raids?
130 power.
Hey! He got it!
That definitely peaked.
That's why I backed away from the mic. Featured attacks, Primal Energy rewards from Primal raids, and the ability to perform Primal version with Kyogre and Groudon is limited to taking holding trainers during Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn, Las Vegas. Trainers without a Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn, Las Vegas ticket will not collect Primal Energy, will not have the ability to perform Primal version, and will not encounter Kyogre or Groudon with featured attack until Pokemon Go Tour Hoenn Global. You can still encounter the Pokemon and still get the hundo. It just means that you won't have the energy until you do the raids during Global, and you won't get the special move. It potentially won't be Elite TMable until after the Global event. Although potentially after the Las Vegas event. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
We kind of just have to wait and see there. Neat feature, I guess. Yeah, my only concern here is that the wording in some of those sentences makes it sound like it's going to require the Primal Energy every time you turn it into a Primal, which means you have to collect a bunch of Primal Energy during Hoenn Tour, which is have they said the Global is Global 2 days?
I don't remember.
Is Global 1 day. February 25th and 26th. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it is 2 days. Cool. But also I want to be catching stuff in the overworld, not necessarily doing a ton of Primal raids. So I don't know. The other thing to note is that these will definitely come back. The question is when. They are technically megas. So whether they take the place of a 5-star raid, which is usually reserved for legendaries, or if they take a place of a mega raid, which are usually not legendaries. What did they do with Latios and Latias? I don't remember. Did it take the place of both of them and there just wasn't a 5-star?
For which?
Latios and Latias when it came out to raids?
For megas?
Yeah.
They took over the mega spot.
What was in 5-star raids?
At that time, I don't remember.
Okay. Huh. I don't know. Yeah, well, they'll be back for sure. This is not the last time we'll see Kyogre and Groudon, but they have no more content for Kyogre and Groudon to release beyond this point. It will have had its shiny. It will have its signature moves, and they will have their primal forms. So, Rayquaza, Rayquaza, Rayquaza,
Rayquaza,
which it's Rayquaza. I love that brand of water. That will be getting its not a primal, it's an omega. Is it? No, Delta. Sorry. Delta Rayquaza, which is not a primal form, but they might call it a primal form, but it still runs on the same principle as megas. I don't understand it. I'm confused. Pokemon lore. That will come at some point. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if we get that at like GoFest or something.
Yeah.
They will take their time, or if we get it as part of like the next season, if the next season is just Raging Dragon event or something. I don't know. I'd have to go back to the list of Pokemon TCG sets and like change an adjective somewhere to like get the name of the next season. If we have Mythical Wishes now, if we'll have like Skybound Dragon season or something next, we'll see. But that's my feeling there. So,
Still more
yes.
information to come on that as far as the event spawns, but
more details of the event spawns. But I have an infographic here from GoHub. I'm going to open image a new tab and zoom in here. New details for the Hoenn Tour. This is February 25th and 26th. This is the global event. Latias, Sapphire Badge, or Latios, Ruby Badge, will be in the wild. Take a snapshot of them for an additional encounter. The question is, are these going to be like the Beast Trio in the Johto event where they are incredibly difficult to catch?
probably.
That stinks. But that does mean that they are going to be excessively available sub-Great League.
That also means you only have a limited number.
Limited number of the ones of them that you can catch. Their IVs are going to be absolutely everywhere, but that does also mean that they're tradable and all of that stuff. Shiny Jirachi will feature a Masterwork research and will be available in the shop for $4.99 starting February 20th. Wait, that's an additional cost?
Yeah.
Gosh, diddly darn it. I mean, it would be kind of... Actually, you know what? I'm going to catch the Shiny Jirachi before I catch my regular Jirachi so that Shiny Jirachi is my dex entry. Because I'm on that final piece of the research for regular Jirachi and I just never caught it. Pikachu wearing Brendan's hat, right, and Pikachu wearing May's hat, or May's bow, left, will be appearing in the wild throughout the event. So if you're missing Pikachu during the electric event, don't worry, it won't be long. All trainers will be able to pick between a Ruby and Sapphire badge. The team you pick will change some of your Pokemon wild encounters. Primal Surge Groudon spawns are Plusle, Illumise, or Volbeat. I don't know.
That's Illumise.
Illumise.
Or no, the top one's Volbeat, bottom
Volbeat.
one's Illumise.
Okay. So Primal Surge Groudon spawns Plusle, Volbeat, Trapinch, Solrock, and Sunnycast form, which is shiny, is now out. Again, actually, if we haven't really mentioned it, the shinies for the different forms of cast form beyond non-changed cast form,
Normal.
like normal cast form has always had a shiny. Shiny versions of cast form of all of the different types of weather are exclusive to Pokemon Go currently. You might be able to transfer them into Pokemon Home.
You can't.
You can't transfer them into Pokemon Home. So that's a brand new to Pokemon Go exclusive.
We've had Rainy Cast form for a couple of years.
We've had Rainy Cast form for a while, but it is still only in Pokemon Go.
Correct.
In fact, Cast form I don't think has been in a Pokemon game outside of the Hoenn games, period.
That sounds about right.
As far as the main series games, so that's wild. Primal Surge Kyogre spawns. You have Minun. You have Illumise. You have Wailmer, which means I really don't want to do Kyogre because I am tired of Wailmer. I have enough shinies and I have 2 hundos. I don't know. Actually, I think I have 3. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with them. I really don't.
Share them.
Huh?
Share them. Give them to people that don't want them.
What am I just supposed to hand somebody here have a hundo?
Giving crap.
It's gonna re-roll. Lunatone and Rainy Cast form. Wild spawns. Blistering Sands habitat. Pokemon will appear in habitats during the event. So Blistering Sands habitat, you have Torchic, Poochyena.
All right, I got your facts here.
4.
Cast form.
Uh-huh.
You only get 1 in Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald, and Fire Red, Leaf Green, Coliseum, or XD.
Uh-huh.
It had to be traded from those other ones.
Right.
And it has no other... Oh, nope. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond and Pearl Platinum
Mm-hmm.
had it in the Trophy Garden, whatever that was.
Oh, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Okay. Trophy Garden. Interesting.
And then black and white had to be from the Dream World.
Interesting. I don't even remember the Dream World in black and white. I don't remember the Trophy Garden from Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum.
Sun
though I
and
only
Moon
played
had
Pearl.
it as well.
So it has been catchable in the other regions.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not good enough to remember.
Just not in the wild. It's like national dex stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, Pokemon will appear in the habitats during the event. Blistering Sands habitat, Torchic, Poochyena, Nincada, Makuhita, Nosepass, Aeron, Nummel, Baltoy, Bagon, Cacturn, and Lotad. By the way, all of these can be shiny. Eerie Mists habitat, Ralts, Surskit, Whismur, Meditite. Let me dig out all the memory of the Pokedex because I played like Sapphire first. Spoink, Zangoose, Beldum, Love Disc. It's not a disc though. It's a flat. It's like Love Scale. I don't know. Maybe the Japanese translation is different. Snorunt, Absol, Chimecho, bonus Stardust. It's 1,000 Stardust catch. Grab those. And Set Viper. Verdant Earth Habitat, Trico, Zangoose, Wurmple, Seedot, Shroomish, Slackoth. I wanted to call it Slowbro, and I'm like, that's not it. Gulpin, no, not Electrike.
Yeah, it's Electrike.
Electrike. Okay, I was thinking that was his evolved form. Mawile, Roselia, Skitty, and Swablu. Ancient Shores Habitat, a.k.a. 6 out of 10 too much water. That's a deep cut. Congratulations on if you get that. Mudkip, Talo, Caravana, Wishcash. No, Barboach evolves into Wishcash. Corfish, you've got Wingull. You've got the two fossils. You have Lileep and Anorith. You have honestly hasn't been around at all like in years. Feebas. Where have the Feebas been?
I mean, they were really rare to find in general.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you had to go to like there's like 6 patches of water in like one route where they had like a 5% chance of spawning off of fishing.
Yeah.
It was gross. But also like they just haven't been featured in an event here.
No,
in
they
Go
haven't. They
in
got
like a long
removed
time.
from the 10K pool too.
Oh, that's right, they did. There was an event where they were everywhere.
Yeah.
But also like it's been forever since they've been.
Yeah, they're
featured.
definitely one of those seasonal spawns that people just kind of forget exist.
I'd love a community day of it. Or like a champion event because Milotic is one of Cynthia's. No, not Cynthia.
Yeah, it's Cynthia.
Is it Cynthia?
Yeah.
Okay. That's right. 'Cause Steven is the champion of Hoenn
With Metagross.
with Metal. Cynthia has a much more balanced team and arguably one of the better champion teams. Looking at you, Gita.
Some hate here.
Yeah, a little bit of a little spicy.
Round boy.
Spheal and Clam Pearl.
Another one that we haven't really seen a lot of.
Yep. Round out the Ancient Shores habitat. Remember, it has random evolutions between Huntal and Gorbis. It required an item. I think give it the item and trade it? In the main series
That
game?
sounds right. I think it was a heart scale.
Yeah, Heart Scale and Sharptooth or something?
I think it was just heart scale.
For Gorbis and Huntail?
Yeah.
Because it's a split.
Right.
One had one item, the other had another.
Oh.
I was pretty sure it was a Heart Scale and like a Sharptooth or something like that.
It's one that everyone forgets.
It's one that everyone forgets, but like realistically, it should have been an item or like time of day or something in Go. But of course, they just were like, let's make it random. Which sucks.
I always thought it was based on gender.
No. That would be very closed-minded of them.
I mean,
I'm giving you. I'm giving. I'm just.
Gen
I'm
1, they didn't have
spewing.
genders.
Oh, I mean you like the first couple of games, sure.
Well, no, Gen 2 they introduced the genders.
Right.
But I'm saying
But
in
like
Gen
original
1
games.
Yeah.
But if you played Leaf Green or Fire Red, they had male
they
and
already
female.
had those in, right? But I'm saying like that's why we have. If Nidoran was made by today's standards, it would be the same Pokemon like Litleo with 2 different evolutions.
Right. What's one that has male and female differences on its first form?
It's just Nidoran.
No. I mean, but it's one dex entry.
There's shoot, I'm thinking one of the cat ones.
Like Pikachu does, although I don't really know if Pichu does.
We could watch that montage that they put out that shows all the different ones.
Oh. Let's see. Deep Sea Tooth, Deep Sea Scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes
upon
sense.
trade. Yeah. Tooth is Huntail, and Scale is Gorbis. Which are weird designs and haven't.
Oh, Hippopotas.
Oh yeah. Because those have 2 different color schemes, which realistically
They're
is
just
what
invert.
that is exactly what the Nidoran family would be if they didn't
Separate it.
Yeah. Man. Could you imagine if you went back in time and told the original designers of Pokemon and be like, "Hey, could you just do it a little different?"
Sneasel.
That's true. I think it's the
feather.
length of tail. Oh, it's the feather. Okay.
Heracross. The horns are different,
That they are.
but that's not an evolvable.
True.
Mega? Wobbuffet I never knew had the lipstick until
That's
later
true.
gens.
That's true. Wobbuffet does have the lipstick as a female.
So yeah, you
although
really
also
started to
like
notice those in Gen 2.
hypothetically speaking, that's not even its mouth. Its head is the like tail tag thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whack. Yeah. Okay. What are we missing? Are we missing anything? No.
Ralts is the one that had the
got
third
the split
evolution's
it's-
different.
Yeah, it's got a split evolution, but it's not like
Right.
a male Gardevoir is not any different than a female Gardevoir.
No.
Which actually would be kind of cool to have a slight design change between the 2 of them, but at this point they're not going to go back.
There's
and do that.
certain discrepancies between some of them. Like I think I remember seeing somewhere. I think it's like Rhyhorn have the male Rhyhorn have a bigger top horn.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think they've adjusted a couple of them to have slight differences because I know they did that with. It took a couple generations for the difference with Pikachu.
Yeah.
And then a little while later to do the differences between Eevees and the tail pattern, but I'm not sure what else there is.
Oh look, Bulbapedia has it all listed right here for me.
Nice. I'm going to move on to February's
There's a
Community
good
Day.
one.
Which one?
Venusaur's flower on the female has a seed in it.
Ah. Okay.
Let's see.
I'm going to move on to February's Community Day because that is approaching within 2 weeks.
Huh.
February 5th.
Female Golbat and Zubat have smaller fangs.
Huh. Never knew that. Weird. Really weird. Noibat will be February's Community Day, February 5th, 2023, from 2 to 5 in the evening time, as we've had before. It's a dragon type. Dragon flying.
The most basic one, Magikarp.
Oh, that's right. The whiskers.
Yep.
Between white and gold?
Yep.
Whack. Noibat. Its shiny's already out. It's getting a community day. It's a 2-tier. When you evolve Noibat into Noivern, it gets Boom Burst, which is a charged normal type with high damage and probably high energy requirement, which means it's bad. It's also a normal type, which it doesn't get stab on, which means it's bad. It's also
A 400 candy evolution.
also 400 candy evolution, which means I'm not gonna say
Thankfully,
it's bad,
we
but it's
had
one of
an
those
event
things.
prior to it.
It's
to
been
get some.
around. It's been around.
Yeah.
For sure. And before it was out in the wild, it was in eggs, which gave more candy on hatch anyway.
Yeah.
So
I imagine after this community day, they'll just throw it in 1-star raids for a while. Give it the Shinx treatment.
it's not a bad idea. Or it's not a bad thought. Wouldn't surprise me. It's dragon type, which is cool. So if you don't have your dragon type platinum medal on catch or your dragon type catch
After
platinum
this
medal,
last event.
hey man, there are still people out there that don't have it.
No,
so
you're right.
use this opportunity to catch a bunch of dragon type Pokemon. When it comes to dragon type, is it considered a pseudo legendary?
No.
Okay.
Well, in the main series games, maybe, but it's nothing to like.
Stat wise,
No.
it is a special type attacker. It is very frail.
Very fast.
It is fast, but that doesn't really mean a whole heck
anything.
of a lot here. So, yeah. I like its concept, but I've never been a super big fan of playing it in the main series games. It has a neat shiny with its green. I'm actually not a super big fan of shiny Noivern.
The black-green?
Because its horn stays like purple, and it's weird. Where's Noivern? I'm gonna go to N. Because Noibat and Noivern. So the green and red, but then its horn is purple. I don't know. Maybe it's just the model and the coloring they chose in Scarlet and Violet, but I'm not like super sold on it. Noibat with having just the green and like a tinge of dark blue is a really cool shiny. But I think including the red in Noivern, with some of that like deep blue, you kind of just have these weird color clashes that I'm just not a big fan of. But it's cool. It's a shiny. Flying Dragon, which means keep the ice cubes out of the water. Also, it's now weak to electric. No, neutral. Which I mean doesn't help it. It's also frail.
It's
so
it's what's the word? Diet Dragonite.
it's Dragonite 0.
Yeah.
It's like really. Actually, if Dragonite is Coke, this is a LaCroix.
Hey.
This is a heavy reduction.
No.
A heavy reduction in all ingredients besides water.
No. I hate that it's a good analogy, but no. Don't diss on my LaCroix like that.
It don't have flavor. It don't have preservatives. It don't have sweetener. It don't have.
I would hope it doesn't have preservatives.
Both of them do, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm not preservatives.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
Sweetness? I don't know.
Don't you talk crap about my LaCroix.
It's not.
I will throw something at you.
I don't. It's okay. It's not great. Don't worry too much about it showing up in PvP. It doesn't have a Mega. It doesn't have a Gigantamax. Yeah. There's a chance with a really high attack stat that if and when we get terastallization in Go, giving it a different type, like say fire, or well, it doesn't have any fire moves in Go yet, if it even does ever. Giving it something like water or normal, or to give it stab with boom burst, or just making it pure dragon, might be more beneficial. But in its current state, it is very much not
very
competitive.
much cheeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see. This community day is a 3-time Stardust for catching Pokemon community day, so catch it for Stardust. The other benefit is it is very close to the screen. It should not be a very difficult catch. So that is beneficial. Ooh, I like that one of the stickers has hearts because February has Valentine's Day as well. That is adorable. So 4-star raid battles are continuing. So 3 hours after the community day proper ends, the 4-star raid battles with Noibat will be spawning on gyms. So yeah, that's that.
I feel like it needs to have Castlevania music playing in the background of that.
Maybe. All right.
Welcome to the meta-analysis.
Jump into a meta-analysis here with a couple of topics. The first quick one that I think we're going to breeze through is Electric Cup, which is showing up. Has it already shown up?
Not yet.
Okay.
We still got Weather Cup.
Right. Weather Cup, and then this will change over on Monday?
Monday or Tuesday.
I think they switched it over to Mondays because
Okay.
it used to be Tuesdays. Now I think it's Mondays.
Hmm.
So the Monday after this podcast goes up, Electric Cup.
This is for Great League.
This is I believe so. Give me a news. We'll go to oh goodness gracious. Where's my Go Battle League season update? Mythical Wishes update. Click on the thing and load, please. Unless you don't want to. We are in February. Almost in February, I apologize. Yeah, Electric Cup Great League Edition. So from January 26th to February 2nd, which is
The remainder of the month.
Oh, Thursday. So it'll start on Thursday and go until February 2nd, which is next Thursday. Electric Cup Great League Edition. Ooh, and then we'll have Love Cup. That's going to be Love Cup and Hoenn Cup are going to be the two other GBL metas that we might talk about. I'll take a look at the metas moving forward here in a little bit. So it is Great League. So you should have a lantern built. It got, what is it, Surf?
Yep.
Recently?
Yep.
Which really helps it. It is neutral to electric, but it is just so thick.
Thick fish.
Which means it's the top of the charts here on PvPoke for Electric Cup. Luxray Shadow, Hidden Power. Oh my goodness. Is this the one instance you would be using Hidden Power Ground?
Yeah.
It's Shadow Luxray with Hidden Power Ground.
Hidden Power Ground with
Good.
Psychic Fangs, just combos.
Good luck having one.
I think JRE has it.
Jerry Seawolf?
Yeah.
Ew. First of all, ew. Second of all,
Oh, on a Shadow, too. I don't know if it was Shadow.
that's a
That's a high take.
That's a really tough one. So yeah, Luxray. So Luxray Shadow is rank 2. Luxray non-Shadow is rank 7. But it is still, PvPoke is still recommending Hidden Power Ground. Though Snarl is probably more consistent and something. So for the people that don't know how Hidden Power works, it is a fast move that is of a random type. Once you catch the Pokemon, the way it is random, it is in which your stat combination between HP, attack, and defense, depending on the combination of those three stats, will then result in a type for Hidden Power. So if you catch the same, say in this instance, you catch the same Shinx as somebody else, the exact same spawn Shinx with the exact same stats, they will have the same Hidden Power type.
I've got one with Ice.
I don't think that's going to be helpful here.
No.
I want to look at mine though. So here's the gross thing. It's your higher recommendation is a Shadow Luxray. So you have to have a Shadow Shinx that had the right type combo or the right stat combo in which to give ground Hidden Power. Which I don't think. Does Shinx have Hidden Power, or do you have to evolve it to
It has to
find
be
out?
in its third form.
Gross. Show evolutionary line. Do I have a Shadow? I don't have a Shadow.
Because I have a shiny a Shadow rank 4 Luxio.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I have
Luxio gets Bite or Spark, Crunch, Thunderbolt, Wild Charge. If I evolve it, it is a rank 121 as a shadow. So this is actually, I might just make this a...
That's a hidden power rock. My already powered up 1500 shiny Lux Ray items. If we use an elite fast TM, it's hidden power water. Gross. That's not helpful at all.
So that's a very limited option there.
Yes. Because you won't. There might be a chart out there that you can double check what stats you have to then show.
There is. This shows the hidden power you would get. There
Okay.
is.
So
I
would
would say Go Stadium has
I would
something.
seek that out. But also maybe don't worry too much about running Luxray with a hidden power ground. Maybe unless you're running a shadow, because its survivability isn't that fantastic, and hidden power is a pretty bad move. I think the only reason it's as high with a shadow is because it's a bad move that is 20% more damage
Plus
as the
with
shadow.
Psychic Fangs, you just stack the can.
It can stack, yeah. And if you hit Wild Charge in case of emergency to either get out shields or do massive damage, and your opponent gets to figure out which one they want to do. That's an interesting one. That's a really spicy. I like it. Galvantula is ranked number 3. Minin, which has shown up before.
Is Galvantula running any electric moves, or is it
Fury
lunge?
Cutter, Lunge, Energy Ball.
So you're running a bug.
Yes. Because it is fast charge. Lunge is a debuff. Energy Ball has high energy debuff.
Energy Ball could potentially 2-shot Lantern.
It is good. Let me go over to Mythical Wishes. Sunday, February 12th. I don't want to forget that. The Vulpix. Vulpix Go Battle Day. I want to go to the meta for Electric Cup. Okay. Electric Cup Great League Edition bans are Stunfisk, Heliolisk, Charjabug, and Vikavolt. Interesting. I don't think anything there really. Like.
Charjabug's just a bulkier Galvantula.
Yes. So nothing here is like. I don't think it's throwing the meta. I just think that the meta would be pretty dominated by these. If they were in. So I don't think it shakes up the
I think
remaining
Stunfisk
stats
is the only
here.
one that just really wouldn't have any opposition.
Yeah, your pseudo Stunfisk in this instance is Luxray with hidden power ground, and even then, I just don't think it has that ability to really perform that well. Interesting that Kanto Electrode is above Hisuian Electrode. Hisuian Electrode as a electric grass would be neutral.
I think it's the foul play damage.
Yeah, that would make sense. Although no, it still resists electric. So this
It's the hyper beam cheese. Get beam cheese.
It's a higher resist. No. Yes. Is that a higher resistance? Yes, it's a higher resistance of grass. Can I have both these open at one time?
Right,
no.
but it's still super weak to things like Galvantula.
Okay, that's probably why it's dropping down.
Because if it's Fury Cutter Galvantula and you're getting lunges off like that.
That's probably why Galvantula is running bug moves.
Yeah.
Or one of the big reasons Galvantula is running bug moves.
The biggest thing Galvantula struggles with is the Alolan rocks.
Alolan Geodude XL, Alolan Graveler, and Alolan Golem, which has had a community day, so the resources there are, or the resources theoretically are there for players to have those powered up.
I'm curious, is it saying to run Lantern with Water Gun or Spark?
Water Gun.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, to beat out the
Well, not only does it beat out the
Geos.
rocks, it also puts pressure on every electric type because no electric resists it.
Yep. What was the one that I was like, oh, that's kind of surprising why it's not higher? And it is, what's the electric flying?
Emolga?
Yeah. I feel like Emolga was really high up earlier, and it's not the case here.
It's
which
weak
kind of
to its
surprises
own
me.
type. Plus, it's weak to the rocks.
That's true. That makes sense. Also, Rotom Mo is here.
Yeah, because it's grass.
Yup.
It's worse Hisuian Electrode.
Yes. Thundershock and Astonish. Thundershock. Ominous Wind, Thunderbolt, Thunder. That's
Bad.
hilarious.
It'll get the G-Weezing treatment soon enough. Which is really too bad of a missed opportunity because Heat Rotom would be really fun here, especially if they gave it something like Incinerate.
It would probably be banned.
With Lantern? I don't know. The
The
Geodudes would also beat it.
Yeah. Potentially, but I think the availability
we're
of it.
still missing a good chunk of the Rotoms. We don't have the Fan Rotom. We don't have the Ice Rotom.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have the Heat Rotom or the... There's one I'm missing. Because we have Fire and Grass.
Water?
We have Water and Grass, I'm sorry. Flying?
Yeah,
Nice.
so there's fan to the
Fridge.
internets. It's right in front of me.
Rotom.
All right, so we have regular Rotom, which isn't in the game yet. It is Grass Electric.
Normal? You mean
Or,
Electric
sorry,
Ghost?
Ghost Electric Ghost. Fan type Electric Flying, which we don't have. Frost type, which is Electric Ice. Again, we don't have. We don't have Heat type, which is Electric Fire. The two that we do have are Mo type and Wash type. So we don't have four.
Okay.
Normal, Fan, Frost, and Heat.
Okay. Normal would... Well... Normal's stupidly weak, so I was going to say it might be interesting for Electric Cup. No, it's just
No.
going to die quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, the rollout of the Rotom forms is probably low key one of my most disappointing aspects in Pokemon Go.
Oh,
Maybe?
really?
I mean, it's probably the biggest disappointment I have that I don't think about a lot.
Okay.
'Cause like you could have a really cool event or have it like, 'cause it's what, just Go Fest?
Yeah.
But not even every Go Fest. They skipped a Go Fest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, like there you could have really cool events with this, or have like form changing, or literally anything else. 'Cause I don't
Yeah,
think
the
it's
only thing we've only seen form changes on has been Furfuru.
Does it stats change between the three
Furfuru
of
and
them?
Hoopa.
Does the stats change between the forms?
Don't think so. Well, between the base, maybe?
No, you're right. They probably do change, which would mean form changing is impossible within Go. It would have to be some sort of evolution.
That or just introduce them as they have been.
Yeah, with each form. But like they've kind of just been tacked on to Go Fests. They haven't been
Yeah.
like,
I mean, that's kind of what they do with Deoxys. It'd be introduced like Deoxys at this point.
yeah. Elite raids.
Which makes sense now that I think about it, because Fan Rotom in the main series games had a high speed and high special, which I think is, most of the Rotoms are special. I think the only physical one was Mo.
Still a special.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. It's base form. Oh, so there's stats and then stats alternate forms. So its alternate forms all have the same stats.
Okay, so it's just the base one that changes.
Yes.
Okay.
And it gets much more defensive. Its HP stays the same, but it's much more defensive. It goes from a 77 defense to a 107. and it goes from a 77 special defense to a 107.
Okay.
Its attack barely goes up, and its special attack also barely goes up, but its special attack is already higher than its attack. So, its speed does decrease. So that is one thing. But they are all special attack weighted.
But just for warning, those will be out and about.
Yeah, well, within GBL, I guess someone's going to use it somewhere.
Yeah.
You might encounter one. It will be weird.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. It's kind of frail. So,
Rosh, I could see a good combo team with Wash, Rotom, and Lantern, but they have one grass type. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah. It's
That's Electric Cup. Yeehaw.
yeah.
Bring your fish and bring your rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know. I might play some. Maybe.
Feels like the Flying Cup in a nutshell.
If I do play some, it will be a set or two before I play some more Pokemon Violet. So
Scroll down real quick during that list. What is after? So Pachirisu, that's gross because it's regional. Dedene's okay. Togedemaru, I think Togedemaru would be a fun one for people to try.
Thundershock, Wild Charge, Fails, Stinger.
Yeah, I think if anyone's gonna try, that's a fun one to play because Gyro Ball also hits the rocks for super effective.
That it does. It is a high energy requirement though,
Yeah,
as marked here. So that's the one thing to
what's
note.
after? Scroll down a little bit.
Is there a fighting type hiding in here somewhere?
Fighting Electric? No.
Raichu's got Brick Break.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Raichu
think
could
of like
also have-
anti-rock.
Electric Raichu can also have Grass Knot.
True.
Or Alolan. Electabuzz is interesting. It has Brick Break. Or not Brick Break, Rock Smash.
Ambrose has Brutal Swing now. Not that that really helps it, but that's an interesting coverage.
Against nothing in particular.
It's recommending Volt Switch, Brutal Swing, and Power Gem.
Yeah, Power Gem probably for the Galvantula,
Brutal Swing if you come up against a lot of Alolan Raichu.
which you probably won't.
Probably not. But it's there, and I appreciate it. I love Ampharos. Oh, that's right. Electabuzz has Low Kick, which is low quality, but again, if you're encountering a lot of the rock types, see if you can't find yourself a little fun fighting spice.
Can Hisuian Electrode, does it learn Razor Leaf?
I do not believe so.
No.
Thundershock and Tackle.
Tackle wouldn't be bad though. The only thing you'd really have to worry about would be the rocks.
Told you tomorrow.
Yeah. The Tackle does build up more energy now. What's its normal charge move?
Thundershock, Tackle, Wild Charge, Energy Ball, Swift.
Oh, it gets Swift. Huh.
Gross. Hisuian Electrode. Swift never misses.
Uses the shield. Why?
Yeah, actually that would be... Might break some moves. Break some Pokemon. If it would still damage through shields.
Yeah.
But that would cause a lot more people to question when to shield on some of those moves. Interesting. Righty. We're going to talk about the Naiad Cup. Naiad Cup is February's Silph Arena meta. What is allowed is Bug, Dragon, Psychic, and Water, along with the specific Pokemon Greedent, Miltank, and
Really?
Pokeflute, Snorlax.
I was gonna say.
Brain fart.
Come on.
Absolutely. What is banned are Dark types, Fairy types, Rock types, Araquanid, Alolan Articuno, or not Alolan, Galarian Articuno. Interesting. Cresselia, Fortress, Lantern, Medicham, and Toxapex. Interesting. Of course, Great League, free entry, February. It's technically Wave 1, so your battles will... Ranked battles are still within Wave 1 in between this month, January, and next month, February. There are 0 resources. I think I have... Do I have Naiad Cup? Naiad Cup is on PB Poke, so we're going to break it down real quick. We don't have a meta breakdown or a meta simplified. We might breeze over that in the next podcast, which I think will come out after February has started. Congratulations. Bi-weekly podcasts, everyone.
Woo!
Blessing and a curse, because we don't have to overtread. Arguably, if we did weekly podcasts, we would have shorter episodes. Potentially. The problem is we might be over... I don't know. It's not necessarily double the work, but I don't know. That's a whole other conversation to have. I hope you like seeing Mew. Naiad Cup rank 1 via PB Poke. Mew with a recommended Shadow Claw, Wild Charge, and Dragon Claw. Key wins are Walrein, Mantine, Jellicent, Altaria, and Pelipper. Key losses are Greedent, Swampert, Galvantula, Charjabug, and Dragonair. Wow, it gets walled by Greedent. That's rough, buddy.
It's bulk and it's got crunch.
Oh, that's why. Number 2 is Altaria. Number 3 is Jellicent. Number 4 is Miltank. Number 5 is Greedent. Number 6 is Como-O. Is that the third form? No, that's the second form. It's a fighting dragon, which is not bad. Dragon Tail, Poison Jab as fast moves, Dragon Claw, Close Combat, and Flamethrower as charge moves. That sounds pretty good, but it has been not featured a whole heck of a lot. So having a goodness gracious, having a reasonable one that you are willing to use or power up is not as common. Pelipper, Snorlax, Walrein, and Genesect. Standard, normal type Genesect. I think, yeah, weird. Because it's recommending Technoblast normal. This cup has some bulk, like a lot of bulk. The Lardy boys might return for this one. In an homage to my Prismatic.
Was it Jungle?
No, Prismatic. The one
That
that I
sounds right.
tied with like 4 other people to get first place with. Is it really first place at that point if you tie with 3 other people? Mew does not have good bulk, but it has fantastic spam. Also, it is the Joker in which moves does it have? You won't know until you get hit by it. Altaria, reasonable bulk. Jellicent has some fantastic bulk. Miltank has some pretty good bulk. Some interesting coverage moves with Thunderbolt, especially if there's going to be a lot of water types around. Greedent, Bullet Seed, Body Slam, and Crunch. That's good coverage against Mew. That's good coverage against water with Bullet Seed. And Body Slam has just always been a great neutral charge move. Komomo as a dragon type with close combat. I guess that helps out with the normal, the big Chungus normal types in Miltank, Greedent, and Snorlax. And then helps beat other dragons in Altaria, as well as beat out waters because it's a dragon type. It resists the water, and is dealing stab dragon, which is nothing to sneeze at. There's going to be some bug here, so that makes sense that Pelipper is up here as far as it is. And then the bug is also going to be super effective against the Psychic, which I don't think we'll see a whole heck of a lot of. Mew is rank 1. Lugia is rank 16. I guess
Like
bronze
you would fit in real well with the Lardy Boys team.
as far as bulk.
Mm-hmm.
Does it really have that much bulk?
Yes.
Uh,
Click on its drop down.
Closer, charger, bulky, inflexible, and vulnerable. I don't love that. I don't think I have one built. I don't even know if I have a good one. Bronzong is also a psychic.
I am a fan. I'm a Bronzong stan.
Bulk, confusion, Psyshock, payback. Bulldoze won't really get.
Also knows feint attack, which is good against Mew.
Yes. Is more specifically if you want to build it as a Mew counter. It does already.
It loses pretty bad though.
It
'cause
loses
Shadow
to
Claw
Mew.
does add up real quick.
That's true. It does lose to Mew. So feint attack. You're also not getting stabbed through feint attack.
No.
So I don't think building it as a Mew counter really makes a whole lot of sense there.
No, that's what your bugs are for. Your bugs are your bulky darks.
Yeah. Or your normals.
That's sorry, yeah, normals.
Yeah.
Snorlax should counter it.
Yeah. Talking to that mic. Barely hear you.
Yes.
I could barely hear you. Yeah, there's a whole lot. Walrein doesn't really have that bulk, but it has some decent spam. It's not particularly bulky.
Does Celio get lick?
No. Powder Snow, Body Slam, Aurora Beam. Water Gun is its other fast move.
Okay.
Oh, if only I had lick.
So I know Seal gets it, but I don't know if Dugong gets it.
It's recommending Ice. No.
No.
Ice Shard, Frostbreath, Iron Tail. So Ice Shard, Icy Wind, Blizzard, Aqua Jet, Aurora Beam, Water Pulse.
Yeah.
It is recommending Ice Shard, Icy Wind, and Water Pulse. I have the rank 4. I have not used any elite TMs. Now might be the time I use it on Dugong, but I'm not sure.
Is water types allowed in this, or is it ice?
Yes, water types. It is Bug, Dragon,
How does Seeking place?
Psychic, Water. Seeking, that is an interesting 66.
That's not terrible.
Poison Jab, Legacy, Drill Run, Legacy, Icy Wind, Legacy.
You're using it as a dragon counter.
Gross. Yeah, Key Winds, Altaria, 632, Mantine, Komomo,
That's just
Five-
Icy Wind.
Five
All
for-
of those.
542, Dragonair, 532, Hakamo'o, 528. Those are not great wins.
No, they're not. I was
No.
just curious to see where it was placed.
Yeah. And its key losses, it absolutely gets bodied by Pelipper,
Yeah.
bodied by Jellicent, Swampert's
By other
around.
waters.
Yeah, Swampert's around, by the way, and Greedent Walrein handle it.
How does
And both of which are
ground
going to be
type's
common.
banned, right?
No, Rock type is banned.
How's Quagsire? I cannot wait for Paldean and Quagsire for this game.
18. Mudshot, Earthquake, Stone Edge.
And it beats Mew.
Does it? It does. Well, 686, which is not a huge battle rating.
No, but that's because it's got to get through its shields.
Shadow Quagsire dips hard.
Yeah.
But it's there. Mantine has always performed. You've got some very solid performers that have shown up time and time again.
These are all bulky options, too.
Yeah, Altaria, Jellicent. Not everyone's going to have a Miltank ready, but they've been around. And it got a buff. Greedent, I think, is probably going to be a pretty common one at this point. Komomo is probably the one that not everyone's going to have.
That'll
And
be the
I don't
wild
think.
card.
Yeah, I don't think everyone. Without seeing usage stats, I really don't know if it's going to be necessary, but it's going to be a pretty safe option as far as the neutral
it get counter
damage.
too?
No, that would be gross.
It's evolution, I think.
Where is its moveset? Why is it not showing me its moveset? Oh. It's just not showing them. Give me a second. Via Naiad, Dragon Tail, Poison Jab.
Okay.
Close Combat, Dragon Claw, Flamethrower. That's right, we already talked about it. Already brought it up.
Yeah, I honestly think Mew is one of your pick of your 3.
It's a safe swap. Komomo is going to be more accessible than Mew because you only have one Mew, and you might have already leveled it up past Great League. I think it's going to play...
I mean, you should technically have 2 Mews.
True. You'll have one shiny and one non-shiny, theoretically speaking. I think it'll play a similar role as maybe a safe swap.
For Komodo?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like your safe swap there is
Komodo is a safe swap because it's it gets beat by ice, but like for the most part, anything else, like if they Komodo is gonna handle at least take out a ton of damage. You're not gonna have a ton of, because ice doesn't even resist dragon. It's going to be doing a ton of damage. It might still lose a matchup as a safe swap, but it's still going to be taking out a ton of damage. It's not going to get walled.
Is there any steel types allowed or steel banned?
I don't think steel is banned because Bronzong is here. Genesect Bronzong. Escavalier is at 33. Wormadam Trash is at 36. Durant 37. Wow. Oh, all right. Bug Bite, X Scissor, Stone Edge. Jirachi at 38.
So the steals that you're listing are going to be what beats Komodo. Because if there's nothing that resists dragon, there's no fairy.
Fairy is banned.
So your only other thing that resists the dragon is going to be your steals.
Nothing has charm. Is it at? Just showed. Let's see. Altaria knows Moonblast. Jirachi has Dazzling Gleam, but it's already a steal, so that's fine. Wobbuffet's in this meta.
Jesse just found out what he's running.
There's Charm. Wobbuffet.
I gotta go pick it up. It's been in the gym for 80 days.
Really?
Yes.
Ew.
Wobbuffet, come home.
Gallade's available. Gallade Shadow is available. Celebi is available with Dazzling Gleam.
Gross. Gallade with Shadow and Charm.
Ew, Celebi with Magical Leaf, Seed Bomb. Ooh. If you want it to
Died at Altaria real quick.
That's true. Celebi is not very bulky. But if you want an anti-water, holy cow, it beats Swampert with a 926. Take that, Swampert.
I mean, you could beat Swampert with a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's gross. And Quagsire with a 903. That's Celebi, way to go. So there's a little bit of a teensy tiny little bit of fairy type available. Not fairy types, but fairy type moves.
I like the steals better.
They will probably perform overall better anyway. So,
do me a favor.
Okay.
Does Charm Wobbuffet beat Komodo?
I want battle. Give me 1 second. Battle. Wobbuffet with Charm. We'll go Komodo, Dragon Tail, Close Combat, and Flamethrower. Or no. Dragon Tail, Dragon Claw, Flamethrower is what it was recommending there. Return a Mirror Coat. It most certainly does. It most certainly does.
I know it beats Altaria.
That's a... Oh, my God. Wobbuffet, you disgusting. The only downside is Wobbuffet then has absolutely no coverage.
Move.
It has no charge move. It has Return and Mirror Coat as its recommended moves, which do nothing to
Swap
steel
that
types.
to counter to see if it steel wins.
It doesn't resist it. It does. It does. But it then relies on
Return.
Relies on a return getting through. Yeah.
But it was a much more resounding win with charm.
With counters, it will
get to charge moves.
It will get to charge moves, but it'll pressure steals. With charm, steals are your worst nightmare.
Right.
So
6 of one, half dozen of another.
Run Swampert with it. Run Charm and run Swampert with it.
Maybe.
Swampert's a pretty solid
just everything.
Anti-everything, but an anti-steal. I don't think there's really a good steal that pressures Swampert.
Ferrothorn.
I don't think Ferrothorn in this? Ferrothorn is not in this. No, you're safe, my guy.
Skarmory allowed?
If I
Skarmory
spelled
doesn't
steel right,
Skarmory
I'll find out.
Really pressure it.
Let's see. So steel type: Genesect, Bronzong, Escavalier, Wormadam, Trash.
The bugs pressure it because bug resists ground, which is from Mud Shot, but not Hydro Cannon.
Hydro Cannon's your bulk of your damage anyway.
Empoleon.
Durant, Jirachi, Caesar, Empoleon, Metagross, Metang, but you're getting to like way too high. You won't see Metagross. Yeah. Probably Empoleon. Yeah.
Empoleon comes down to an Earthquake bait.
And Bronzong doesn't have Levitate.
Nope.
Deal with it. That's a bummer. Yeah, Naiad might be real fun. I'm gonna start theory crafting on that, on Naiad. So yeah, oof.
I think bulk is the key to victory here.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think bulk is the name of the game, and then it's bulk, and potentially somebody they can outspam.
Yeah,
because there are going to be some of those options
that are getting the right call on the Mew.
Yep.
Mew becomes essentially Raichu in this cup. Do you run Wild Charge in the front and swap, or do you bait it?
Yeah. The normal types here, I think, are probably the big. Maybe that's
winners.
That's why Mew is not banned.
Yeah.
Is because
normal types are threaten it.
Yeah,
Greedent
with Crunch, Snorlax with Lick.
Well, Snorlax and Miltank with both just the body slam pressure, because it is a legendary or mythical brought down.
It is frail.
You don't have to necessarily run Mew Wild Charge and any of that stuff. You can run it whatever.
Yeah.
You can run it Psyshock.
Can it run counter?
No.
Okay. Lead, switch, charger, closer. It is very good. The negative trait it has is technical, which sure that is not incorrect.
Technical in the sense of it predicting shields or not.
True. Let's see. So Waterfall, Jolt Switch, Struggle Bug, Steel Wing, Snarl. You can learn Snarl. Fascinating. Shadow Claw, which I think is that hybrid between damage and energy gain. Rock Smash, Pound, Poison Jab. Ooh, Poison Jab. Infestation, Frost Breath, Dragon Tail, Cut, and Charge Beam. So I think you're probably Snarl, Shadow Claw, and Dragon Tail are probably your ideal as far as your damage dealers, or as far as fast moves. Honestly, Shadow Claw I think is probably just the go-to.
It's just the go-to. The goated.
Snarl if you really want to be really spammy. Although I think it's a little bit longer of a fast move. Yeah, which means that you're kind of locked out of using charge moves on turns, depending. Yeah. Let's see. Ancient Power, Blizzard, Bulldoze, Dark Pulse, Dazzling Gleam, Dragon Claw, which it's already recommending. Energy Ball, Flame Charge, Flash Cannon, Focus Blast, Grass Knot, Gyro Ball, Hyper Beam, Ice Beam, Low Sweep, Overheat, Psychic, Psyshock, Rock Slide, Solar Beam, Stone Edge, Surf, Thunder, Thunderbolt, Wild Charge. Yeah, Wild Charge is not a bad option. Surf is probably one of your other better.
The problem is a lot of things are resisting surf in this meta.
Yeah. I mean, same thing with Wild Charge. You have some of your mud boys, but like you're getting to it pretty quick. Yeah.
You could always double up the wild charge too, and then swap. Basically, Talon Flame it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, it doesn't have like a fighting type move. Like it doesn't have power up punch. It doesn't have drain punch. It does have focus blast, so you could run it focus blast. But then you are
super dependent on shields.
Super dependent on shields, and you have to debuffs itself, right? Focus blast?
No.
Okay.
Close combat and superpower do.
Okay. Focus blast just takes a little longer to get to.
Yeah.
So that's an option, but I don't think like the fighting.
That would be something that throws the normals for a loop, though.
Yes.
Big time.
Yes, it would. Yeah. I mean, you could keep it Dragon Claw for some of that spam.
And then instead of wild charge nuking, you can
Focus
catch.
blast.
The problem is once the opponent knows that, they're
Yeah.
immediately gonna
Yeah, they're gonna know. I mean, they're gonna shield, which means you can then bait with Dragon Claw.
Yeah, you could. But I'm saying
and that's where the technical comes in.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the games after, that's where they have to then make that decision to shield or not.
Which arguably throws your opponent for a little more.
Against the Snorlax and see if it gets an unshielded focus blast. What it does.
Focus blast versus Dragon Claw and the one
Dragon
shield.
Claw, though.
Okay. We're gonna go single versus Snorlax.
Snorlax just lick body slam, no shields.
No shields on both?
Just Snorlax. And try both. I mean, yeah.
Snorlax dies first.
Yeah.
With a focus blast.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Body slam does what is that?
A half of Mew's HP.
Third. About a third.
But yeah, one focus blast gets through.
Yeah.
The Mew's gonna lose that one. Yep.
Yep. With a one shield each. Yeah, because
body slam's more repetitive.
Yep.
But if you add Dragon Claw and get the bait, then it wins again, because you're just running the same simulation.
With 1 HP. Wow. So Focus Blast just needs that much damage. I wonder if... How is Snarl? 7 HP. So you gain 6 HP. It probably makes more sense to have... I mean, that's a kind of a losing... You can flip that matchup with it. Let me go back to Shadow Claw and... Wild Charge and see where that
loses.
I mean, yeah, I know it loses, but it's really terrible. Okay. Because it tries to throw a Wild Charge and gets the attack debuff, but that doesn't matter. Whereas with a Focus Blast, it knows to bait with Dragon Claw first.
That's just because it won't survive to get to the other move.
Yeah, I mean... Back pocket Focus Blast might be a really interesting one.
Yeah.
Just because you can gen energy and try and bait out shields initially with Dragon Claw, like as much as possible, and just have swap it out, back pocket a Focus Blast with Mew, as that closer.
Because that takes care of your steals, it takes care of your normals. Not many other things resist fighting. That would it Oko a Swampert?
Let's find out. Swampert, water, ground. We're gonna no shield.
I'm assuming it's just gonna use 2 Hydro Cannons first.
Yes, it still loses. It gets the 2 Hydro Cannons.
But Mew has to shield.
Mew has to shield one, so yeah, let's go no shield. I think it dies. Yeah. Yeah.
His Hydro Cannon just comes up that quick.
Yeah, so you need to conserve a shield from you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Focus Blast does a ton of damage. It 2/3.
Yeah.
I guess the downside is there are Psychic type here, in this meta, where you kind of have to.
But most of the psychic types are also something weak to
Not necessarily.
fire, essentially. Jirachi's weak to the fire. Celebi's weak to the fire. Wobbuffet's an excuse because you can
Right.
just Shadow Claw that down.
Ow, set up. Why would you?
So,
In the middle of the podcast, it comes through in the audio. It's probably that's of all the things that's probably going to deafen somebody. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, you could swap it to Flame Charge and maybe have some more.
not against that one.
No, that's true. But you then have the coverage against the steel types, and more safely against the steel types because a couple of the steel types
It
are
also
steel
boosts
psychic.
your Shadow Claw.
That it does. So yeah, Flame Charge might actually be a. It's not as much damage as Focus Blast. It's not the nuke, but it is faster, and it does boost Shadow Claw, and would boost Dragon Claw if you get to a Dragon Claw after that. But again, Mew is pretty frail, and it would need to have shields.
Yep.
Like, absolutely, for sure. So it's not a bad option, and I think that flexibility when it's with its moveset, I think is really going to play.
I mean, that's why it's 1.
You could realistically put Mew on your team, build the team around it, and then come back. Put Mew on your team. Don't decide its moveset until you figure out the rest of your squad of
roster,
6.
Yeah.
And then come back to Mew and figure out what makes the most sense as far as moveset.
As coverage. Yeah.
Yeah. So, options.
I think that's
like
mostly what the cup's going to be focused around is what Mew does for your team.
Fascinating. I dig it.
I dig it more than Ember Cup.
Yeah. I think my team for Ember Cup, I'm not like against. I just, as I always do, didn't practice any. And don't.
I just don't like
Don't really
cups
care.
that have limited options.
True. I mean, this Naiad will have a ton different,
Do you mind opening
Ton more
Arena
flexible.
real quick?
a ton more flexibility.
Go to Ember Cup. I want to see where standings are. I want to see if it's still Charizard, Poliwrath, Pylo.
Ember Cup resources, Cup stats, Poliwrath, Charizard, Hisuian, Quillfish.
Okay.
So Quillfish is now at 3rd, but that's because it's a dark poison with water type coverage.
Yep.
Not a
Change it to Victor's.
only match Victors, Charizard, Poly, Hisuian, Quillfish.
Yep.
And Hisuian Quillfish had a higher percentage than it was before. So, yeah. Yes. Look forward to Naiad Cup in February. I think it will be somewhat fun. Expect to see Mews probably on every team at this point.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, I mean, some Mews are going to be better than others just because you only have 2, and in some cases, some people only have 1 because, again, they've already powered up beyond.
Yeah, because when Mew originally
Great
came
League.
out, people weren't considering even Great League.
No, PvP wasn't around, so let's see. Not Mew 2. I want Mew. Do I have both Mews? I have regular Mew. Yes, I do have both Mews. And I think that's gross. That's less so power up. Can I 1456 or 1466? Gross either way. Those are my options. I have enough Mew candy though. When did I get that much Mew candy? Did they hand it out? I have 162 Mew candy.
You probably dumped some rare candy at some point.
Did I? I don't know. Weird. All right. Well, at least the power ups cost isn't going to be what breaks the bank. Good luck, everybody, in Naiad Cups. If you guys start those tournaments before the next podcast, we will do maybe a little bit more of a breakdown as far as the winners, losers, the meta simplified. So we might go over one of those in the next episode. Shoot. Let's see. Next episode, 2 weeks, February 7th. We will be on the doorstep to the... No. Kind of, sort of. We might get some more information as far as the Hoenn Tour event, but at that point, I can't imagine they have a whole lot more information to reveal as far as the Hoenn Tour event.
Yeah.
We might get a little bit more nuggets as far as what the story is going to be like with Team Rocket, but beyond that, not going to be a whole lot. We'll have all of the details, and I'm sure it will already have been broken down and beaten to half to death on the new shadows at that point. We won't have any details on the season after that. Probably won't even have any details on the next Silph meta. Metas, plural, because it looks like they're releasing 2 at once, or announcing 2 at once. So, yeah, we'll kind of have to wait and see what details we have on anything in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, go have fun. Be safe. Pace yourselves. I'm trying to think of what's happening in between now and then, and not a whole lot. Enjoy Noibat Community Day. Enjoy the Electric Cup. Do not forget to TM frustration off of the Pokemon that you critically need to. And if you miss it, take a deep breath. It will return. Again, it is quarterly. Just about once in the middle of each season, we have the Rocket Takeover event where we can TM frustration off. It's a weird way of doing it, but they are at least consistent in that.
Oh, and if you're listening to this podcast recording as of Friday, go out and get some of those leaders Pokemon before they change.
Right. Those will change
Sableye
middle
and
of next
Machop,
week.
definitely.
Sableye, Machop, Mawile. I would say Mawile is actually a pretty reasonable shadow, especially since it hasn't been in the wild in a very long time. It will show up for the Hoenn event.
And we'll get a Mega eventually.
That too. That's always a fun one. Technically, Machop gets a Gigantamax, but who
knows how that'll work?
Yeah, who knows how that'll work and when we'll get it.
Sableye too. Sableye will get a Mega.
Yes, Sableye will get a Mega. So if you want, realistically, the Shadow's not like super ideal because you can't Mega as a Shadow, but you could find a close to Hundo and
that or
purify
get
it.
the candy for the XLs.
That too. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take
those
advantage
options.
of that before they change over.
Yep. Keep an eye out because your Rocket Grunts will also change over with that. Not all of them, if it goes by previous events, not all of them will change over at the same time. Some of which will stay, some of which will go. So they don't seem to be rotating previous stuff that are old shadows coming back. That might change with this one, but from what we can tell, when a shadow is gone, it's generally gone. So, thank you everybody for listening. And we'll catch you out there on the battlefield.